already know the bestie and my producing partner, Elaine Goldsmith-Thomas, is releasing her debut novel, Climbing in Heels, on April 29th. I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of her. I'm excited to tell you she'll be doing a special book signing and a Q&A on Tuesday, April 29th, 7 p.m. at Barnes & Noble at the Grove in Los Angeles. I'm going to be in the front row. I'm going to be there. My kids are going to be there. We want to see you. Special guests will be there to celebrate. So we hope to see you guys there. But here's the thing. Elaine has always had the best stories from when she was coming up and kind of like battling with the guys and trying to find her own way as like a young secretary, but you wanted to be an agent. And there's just 1,000, you had all these things. They were always the best stories. I love listening to you and even Benny at times like talk about like coming up at that time, because it was such a different world even than it is today.
It was big hair and big shoulder pads and big phones and big dreams. And it was really difficult if you were running the maze in a mousetrap, but you weren't the cheese that they wanted. So you had to figure out a way to get in, right? And it's really no different.
Well, for women then, especially.
And it's really no different for you.
People, I don't think, know this about you. They don't know who you've represented in your career, like from the beginning of their careers till now. Like
I represented Julia Roberts. It was a great honor. Madonna,
Tim
Susan
Robbins.
Sarandon, Tim Robbins, Spike Lee, Nicolas Cage, who was
Legend.
Nicolas Cage is in my book.
Julia, since she was a kid.
Yeah, well, we were both kids.
Yeah.
Ish. I have to tell you about Jennifer. I wanted to sign her so badly. I was a pretty big agent by that time. This was like 98 maybe. And my husband had seen her in a movie and, you know, he said to me, you have to represent this girl. I thought, if I don't represent this girl, it's going to be one of the biggest disappointments of my life. I loved you. I loved your talent. I loved your honesty. I wanted you to like me.
Yes.
So she came in, she was about to go to another agency. At that point I was at ICM. I had left William Morris. I went to ICM.
Benny took me to all the 3 biggest agencies in town at the time.
Yeah.
It was CAA, it was ICM, and it was
Morris.
William Morris. And Elaine was at ICM. And I met all the biggest agents. I had just done Selena, I think, and Out of Sight. And I was a little bit of a get, like at that time. Young ingenue, who knew what I was going to become? I was just about to do my first record, and I went to go meet all the big agents. And
Benny was pushing her to CAA.
Benny really wanted me to go to CAA because they were the biggest at that time.
Yeah.
And still are.
Yeah, still are.
And but I met this woman, and she was just like, I remember Benny's like, I met all 3 of them, and they were like, he's like, so what do you think? And I was like, see, he goes, CAA, right? And I go, no, I like that girl. I like that woman from ICM, Elaine. And he was like, what?
Really?
And I was like, yeah, I like her. I just like her. I don't know. There's something about her. She was awesome. She was strong and smart and like engaged and enthusiastic, and she kind of got me. I think she gets me. And she anyway, 30 years later.
Here's this woman who was a dancer who really wanted to act, and an actress who really wanted to sing, and I think so brilliantly talented that sometimes people marginalize it or reduce it because they think, well, how can anybody do all 3 of those things well? But you can.
You can, and a lot of people do.
And a lot of people, no, not a lot of people. There's a word called sui generis, and that's what you are. But you also inspire people.
Tell people what sui generis means. You're such a writer, for Christ's sake.
One of a kind. But you also inspire people that you don't just have to stay in one lane, that the only thing stopping you is you.
You can do anything.
You can do what you want if you
just be happy and don't hurt anybody.
Pursue it, yeah. So Climbing in Heels.
This is a book you wrote.
It's a book I wrote. I started it during the pandemic. I'd get up at like 4 in the morning. There's Beanie Rosen, who is a Jewess from the Valley. There's Ella Gaddy, who is a rebel from Kentucky. And there's Mercedes Baxter, who is a dilettante from London. These women were all formed and informed by mothers who are their fuel and their kryptonite. they're living the lives their mothers wanted them to live, and in some cases, their mothers lived through them. In Beanie's mother's case, Beanie
And sometimes resent them for it.
sometimes very much so, and fear them, fear their courage because they didn't have the courage to live those lives. A lot of these women, the mothers in this book, were mothers. In this book, they're mothers in the 60s, and they were, baby boomers who suddenly found themselves with kids and lives they didn't plan, and their frustrations are sort of the fuel for their daughters. And you'll see the three distinct characters of Beanie, Ella, and Mercedes are really formed by their relationships with their mothers.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love you and I'm proud of you.
Hey, I love you and I'm proud of you. Thank you, my babe. Thank you for helping me climb in flats to this. I don't think I could have done it without you. I don't think I could have. I think I would have been too afraid. So I'll see you
Afraid
guys.
of this interview, and we did it.
We did it.
We're done.
April 29th at Barnes & Noble.
Lucy Hale.
Lucy Hale is doing the Q&A, and Jennifer's going to ask me any question, no holes barred, anything she wants to ask me.
How much blow did you do in the 80s?
There you go. Come to Barnes
many
& Noble.
blowjobs did you-
Come to Barnes & Noble and you'll find out. Thank you.